The first thing that we're going to learn how to do is make a new folder and put all of your footage in it. So this is where you're going to keep all of your footage. You're going to dump it all into this folder onto your desktop. So you're going to make a folder on your desktop. I'm going to title mine Mia T SBN. You're going to title yours your first last name -SBN. And then I'm going to open it and drop my footage into it. Normally you would have more footage than this, but it's just practice. You're going to go to the top right and click on that icon, Premiere Pro, log in and stuff. I'm already logged in, but you're going to log in, go to Premiere Pro, start a new project, title it, and then save it to that folder. So you're going to choose your location, go to desktop, go to that folder, and save it there. Next, it's going to ask you to import footage. So you're going to go back to that desktop folder and you're going to import that footage and click import. And that's how you import footage. The next step is to edit. So first thing that we are going to do to edit is learn how to cut. So you're going to go to that razor tool and you can cut out whatever you want to cut out. And then you delete the rest. To undo, you can go to edit, undo, and you can also redo on there too. And now there's no cuts made. Also to cut, you can drag, and that'll cut it for you also. And yeah, that's the basics on how to cut. To make the picture smaller or bigger, you just double click on the picture and you drag the corners of it and it'll cut. And then to enlarge, you drag the corners of it out and it'll enlarge. You can always import more footage, which is what I'm going to do here because I want to show you guys how to use effects, such as cross dissolve and fade to black. So to add it in, you're going to go to, first we're going to delete that clip. You can highlight, and you can highlight two clips too and just delete it all like a mass type thing, like a lot of it at once. But to do effects, you go to effects in the top left. It might be in the top right depending on how it goes. And then video transitions, you can do audio effects, audio transitions, and you just add it in. Cross dissolve is probably the easiest one. It just makes the clips blend more nicely together. Next, towards the end of the video, you always want to put end credits at the end of the video, I guess. And to go into that, it's nice to do dip to black. That way it's just a nice fade out. You can make the effects bigger by just dragging them, as you can see me doing. And then to add text, you can click on the T and double click on the black screen in the front. And then you add in your text. So executive producers, you put in all of the execs, and then you can put in actors, cast, camera, everything, producer, yeah. And then to make it bigger, you need to go to Properties in the top right. You click on Properties, and then you can move it to, you can make it like align with the middle. And you can move it, and you can bold it and make it bigger, whatever you want to do. So that's what I'm doing here. To make it roll, people always get stuck on this. You'd click out of it, and then you click back into it, and then you scroll down, and it should say roll. And then it rolls. That was too slow, so then you can shorten the clip, and it goes by faster. Also, if you want to, you can use graphic templates as I'm circling here, and use those. Those are just more fancy. They do take up more like storage in a way though, so I wouldn't recommend it, but it is nice to have. Next is audio, which is the hard part. You can pinpoint using the pen type tool, and you can click on it, add the dots, and then drag it down. The lower the dots, the lower the volume, the higher the dots, the higher the volume. So I'm just making the dots where there's more like sound. I'm lowering the volume, and where there's less sound, I'm highering the volume. Which there wasn't a lot of sound in these clips because I didn't need it. But yeah, that's a great way because you never know how your audio is going to be. And if you noticed, my mouse is pointing to the right here. You always want your volume to be -6 and 12. Mine didn't really have a lot of sound, so I couldn't make it that far. But the parts that it did have sound, you want to make sure that they're between -6 and -12. Ideally, -6 and -10, but you can't really see a -10. So -6 and -12. So you can play with it as I'm doing here, just trying to make it perfectly, not perfectly, but pretty good between -6 and -12. So right there is pretty good. You may think the audio sounds great in your headphones, but a lot of the time when you play your projects on the projector, it's not the same. Like, it doesn't work very well. You can't really hear it, or it's too loud. So just make sure it's between that -6 and -12, every part of it, and then like your volume won't be quiet in some parts and loud in other parts. So that just helps to fix it. V1 stands for video, A1 stands for audio. You can add layers, so like B2, add some more clips, so on. But yeah, that's the basics of editing. Yeah. If you want to move the whole clip, you click on that like drop bin type area under the select key, and you just move the whole thing. Then you don't lose your transitions and stuff. So that's nice. And yeah, that's the basics of editing. And then to render the video, you go to Sequence, Render into Out, and then you let it render. The next step is to export. So once it's all rendered, that line above should be green and not yellow. You want to export it to that same folder we made in the very beginning, so Mia T SBN. You're going to title it so that you don't lose it. You're going to leave all the rest of the same, the preset and the format, that's going to remain the same. And then you click export in the bottom right, and you let it export, which is also going to take some time. The next step after it's been exported is to upload to YouTube. So you save that, save what you have. You go to your folder, make sure it's there, and then you go to Google Chrome and you sign into YouTube. Once you've signed into YouTube, on the SBN account, you go to Create, select Files, and you go to that folder on desktop where it should be saved. And you click on the one that you just exported. It should say MP4. You open that and you let it upload. And then you want to title it. I'm going to leave it How to Use Premiere Pro tutorial. No, it's not made for kids. You keep going, you let it check. Public, and then you're pretty much done. You can import like how you want it to look on YouTube, and then you publish. That's the basics of how to edit. Miss A can help you with anything else. But yes.